ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to everyone who are listening to this talk on Srimad Bhagvad Gita. We are in the 5th chapter, towards this end portion of this chapter, and Bhagavan is narrating here in some very wonderful words the nature and state of the person who has attained perfection in the path of this yoga. The name of this chapter is Sannyasa Yoga, and thereby Bhagavan here he is showing that the perfection in sannyasa and perfection in yoga are one and the same thing. So true sannyasa is perfection in yoga, is the true yoga. The true yoga is alone the true sannyasa. In the last class, we saw this couple of beautiful verses, that the 19th verse, Iha iva tair jitah sargo esham samye sthitam manah nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmanite sthitaha. That by them this transmigration of life, this transmigration of soul has conquered, won over, here itself, living in this body, not after dying. So the Hindu concept of moksha, of liberation, of attainment of the highest is here on this earth while living, not after dying. That you go to heaven, this is not the concept of moksha in Hindu Dharma, in the Sanskriti and Sabhyata of Hindus. The highest has to be attained here. So this word marks the very great difference. It is not that you do good karma and after that you attain to some higher loka. That is at the most a consolation prize. Shastras, when they are serious, when they are not cajoling, like when we do to children, that if you go to school, you will get toffees. That is not the purpose of schooling. That is not the purpose of going to the school to get toffees, that you will get to play, etc., that you will meet friends. So these are the motivators. These are the phrases sometimes used by parents and elders, sometimes when children, very little children, when they are they have just started to going to school. So maybe these kinds of things were said by parents, but that is not the purpose of school or education. So similarly, attaining this state of Jivan Mukti, this is the state of perfection. This is the state of Mukti, Moksha. Ihaiva tairjitah sargo. Sargo, that is sargah. With sandhi, it has become sargo. Esham samme. Who have done that? Esham samme sthitam manah. Whose mind has been established in samya avastha. That equanimity. It is not for a moment, it is equanimous and it is again perturbed. They are continuously living that. They have become one with that. Their mind is equanimous, steady, they have attained that state from where they are never displaced. So this is the first line of this 19th verse. Ihaiva tairjitah sargo esham samme sthitam manah. In the 20th verse, we see this characteristic. So being established in that samya avastha. So how does it appear? How do they behave? Na pravrushet priyam prapya, na udvijet prapya cha apriyam. If I have quoted the verse in reference to this 20th verse, I have many times I have quoted that verse from the 18th chapter. From the 18th chapter, that is the 10th verse. So it starts with na dveshti akushalam karma kushale nanushajjate. 18th chapter. Yeah, and what is then? So similar idea is expressed there. Here, what is being said? That he does not get excessively elated. So na pravrushet. Priyam prapya. So if he gets something which he likes, priyam, he does not become so excited about it. Na pravrushet. Similarly, if he get something which is apriyam, which is not to his taste, to his likings, he does not become dejected, disappointed, na udvijet, does not get irked or vexed. And this is only possible when everybody is born with this set of notions called likes and dislikes. Something which is preferable and something which is not so avoidable. With simple things like food, place, times, etc. and people, their actions, and then further qualities, values, principles, ideals, and as those become very comprehensive, very subtle, and people become more and more, we find them to be fanatic with it. So this person who has become perfect, thus perfect, he is found to be not affected by them, either of them, not so much. So what has happened? What is the change? Where lies the change? How is that Samya Avastha? Now this is being reflected. This is what is Samya. So some person who is judging from outside. So if I say I have attained Samya, so if I say that next person has no clue about it, whether this person has really attained it or not, because he has no way of judging it. So these kinds of behavior, he might test that idea. In the presence of, in the interaction of such opposite dualities, Priya and Apriya, how the person behaves, whether his equanimity is broken, shaken, challenged or not. Here in the 19th chapter, in the 19th verse, the earlier verse, second line therefore is important. It says, Nirdosham hi samam Brahma. Now Brahma, it does not have Nam, Roop or Guna. That kind of samatva, coherence, unity is characterized in Brahman. That is the nature of Brahman. It is pure consciousness. It is not the matter of subject matter of mind or senses. Now that person is so much, when in the state of being oneness with him, that is samadhi, and even after that, something what we can use the word from our contemporary world vocabulary, if I may use the word, kind of hangover. So some person is got intoxicated due to lot of drinking, and or some kind of any intoxicant, maybe whatever he might have used. So there is a state that he is completely stoned, completely cold and out, that he is not responding to any external stimuli. You are calling his name, or you are asking him or her to wake up. No action. But when after some hours that has gone down, still that person's vision, his speech or his movements, we find it as affected by that poison or by that intoxicant. He is still inebriated. He is extremely happy. Maybe nobody is happy with him, but he is very happy under the spell of that drug, that substance. And you see, those people are incongruent and incoherent. Incoherent not only with themselves, but incoherent mostly to the world, that who is his friend or where he has to go, etc., etc. Now the person here about whom we are talking, who has had such a mighty experience, which transcends, which breaks down the limit of individuality, and he has the touch, the direct experience of infinity. And the person under the spell of that experience, Now this is how he behaves. Now he is rooted into that experience, and that's why anything outside, where everything is differentiated by their naam, roop, guna, etc. in this world, and different value is attached to it, it is same to him. From that source, this samatva flows in and expresses it outside. Because he does not recognize any more distinction between them. That's why he does not get so elated. Na pravrushet priyam prapya, na udvijet prapya cha apriyam. Sthira buddhir asammudho. He is called as asammudha, of the clear mind, of the clear intellect. Asammudha. That his buddhi is not anymore mohita, and it is steady. Sthira buddhi. Sthira in, the steady in that reality, in that consciousness. That is what is denoted, what is implied by the word Samya. Samya and Brahman is the same thing. So that's why Sthira Buddhi Asammudho Brahmavid Brahmani Sthitaha. He has known Brahman. He has attained, he has experienced his oneness with Brahman. His dream of individuality, a separate, exclusive individuality, has broken. He is Brahmavid. Now he is only acting as far as the show continues. Brahmavid, Brahmani Sthita. He is Sthita, established in Brahman or established in Samya. Both are the same thing. So this verse I cited, in the 18th chapter, the 10th verse, that is very much sings the same tune. So we will see it again. Na dveshti kushalam karma, kushale na anushajjate. So na dveshti, he does not hate. What? Akushalam karma, that any work which he is not very dexterous about it, very skilled in it, akushalam, not expert, not adept in it, he does not hate to do such kind of work. We will hate because we will not be able to do so. So we will fail probably. We will not be successful, and that will become the reason of our ridicule. It will be hurting our ego or self-esteem. We will become small before others. So that's why we will hate such work. If there is some ceremony and somebody asks a gentleman, "Aiye thoda nachiye, come please dance." No. He will not dance. Because he is very respected gentleman. So he will not dance. Please sing one bhajan or song. No, I don't know. Maybe he knows something, but he will not sing. Akushalam, not expert. And Akushan, that is not the only thing. Because if he sing, he will be out of tune, and then everybody will make fun of him. And he has to be respected. He has to maintain that. So he will hate that. No dveshti akushalam karma. We are the people. Dveshti kushalam karma. Akushalam karma. Not only that, kushale no anushajjate, that he will not get excessively absorbed in something which he or she is good at. People excessively talk about it, or only go and do about these things. Somebody likes to play games on especially the teenagers. So people are tired, their parents are tired, and they do not know what to do, what is the way out. Not only that, even that child understands, but he does not know what is the way out. completely addicted to it. Anushajjate, becomes attached. So both these qualities are not found in this person. Not of hating, which is not good at, not of excessive attachment in something which he or she is good at. Na dveshti kushalam karma kushale na anushajjate. And then these are the words said by Bhagwan. So such a person is the real tyagi, sattva samavishtah, medhavi, chinna samshaya. Four things have been said. He is truly the renunciator. He is truly tyagi. Sattva samavishtah, that he is truly established in the sattva. And he is truly medhavi, he is truly intelligent. And he is truly chinna samshaya, he is truly all doubts are dispelled. Chinna samshaya. This is what being said in the 10th verse. Similar idea has come up here. Na pravrushet priyam prapya, na udvijet prapya cha apriyam. Hira buddhi asamudhah brahmavid brahmani stitah. So this 10th verse, until now this 20th verse, we see that Bhagwan is talking about these hallmark characteristics of the perfection, the perfected, the yogi, the yukta. Now we see this now here from the 21st verse onward. He is not only talking about the yukta, but he is also showing us the way to it. The inner workings are how that could be attained, the pathways to it. So this 21st verse, these are the simplest but most profoundest words. They are the crux of this very complex process, what we call as spiritual growth, the path of spiritual attainment. Now see this 21st verse. It says, Bahya sparshe shvasaktatma, means Bahya sparsheshu asaktatma. Vindatyatmani means Vindati atmani yat sukham. So Bahya sparsheshu asaktatma Vindati atmani yat sukham. Sa brahma yoga yuktatma sukham akshayam ashnute. So this is the 21st verse of this 5th chapter. So what is being said here? Bahya sparsha. Bahya is external. Sparsha is touch or contact. Or in contact, sparsheshu. Here the 7th case, locative case. So in the contacts, in the case of external contacts, he is non-attached. Asaktatma. Atma, that person, or his mind or his heart, wow, the way the word has been used here. Asakta, unattached. So now the contacts here means contacts between the sense organs and their respective sense subjects, sense objects. So This is called as sparsha. This is called as contact. So the person who is unattached, who is not motivated, in such contacts, when these contacts happen, what does happen? We will, if we refer to the second chapter, 14th verse, most likely. Yes. So in the second chapter, Bhagavan has said this similar this idea in this 21st and 22nd verse. So they will come up here. In the 14th verse of the second chapter, Bhagavan had said, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukhadakada. Matra is the tanmatra. Here again sparsha means the contact. Again contact means contact of the senses and their respective sense objects. So what happens when there is a contact, when there is interaction between senses and their objects? When that happens, you get the knowledge. Perception happens of a particular sense objects through that particular sense faculty. So like you see or you hear or you feel something through your touch or you smell or you taste. That knowledge happens. Now senses are not prejudiced. They will deliver whatever is there. But you, as a matter of fact, due to your previous sanskaras, are predisposed that what you feel or what you infer or how you react to the knowledge brought in by these senses, when they are presented to mind and when they are compared with your previous records, which is called as your sanskaras, the repository of those sanskaras, they are called as chitta, and your buddhi decides over it, and your ego, your ahankara, react to it accordingly. So when your senses brought in information through these contacts, here what is being said, that person is asakta, that is unattached in those contacts, meaning that when the information is brought in, whatever through the interaction of the sense and their sense objects, when that person, he has to hear, as in earlier verse it has been referred, that pravrushit or udvijit. So when does that happen? When it is compared with chitta. That ego may feel pravrushit or ego may feel udvijit according to his previous records of the sight of the person or of the behavior of the person, etc., etc., or what information has been brought in. So these are the dualistic reaction in the world of the dualities. Whereas this person, the perfected yogi, is established in samyatva, samyata, samya bhava. So he is unaffected by it, and that's why he is unattached, asaktatma. He, many times, how we are predisposed what kind of previous preconceived notions we have. You might have seen people after hearing as if they don't hear. Have you seen such kind of things? I have seen such kind of things. That something that person don't want to listen is, even though you are near to that person, you have heard that, you will see that person has not registered anything. How is this happening? Yes, this is the effect of repetitions, abhyasa, after doing it again and again and again and again. So, though those ears have heard it, his mind have not registered it, because that is something he don't want to. To what kind of that discrimination his faculties have reached, that it is completely obliterated. In extreme cases of concentration, you might have seen that Sri Ramakrishna has given example of in the class of Vachanamrita. Swamiji was speaking about that, about the marriage procession going by, where a person is very with a concentrated mind trying to catch a fish with his fishing rod. He couldn't hear a word. He was not aware. How is that possible? Marriage procession is not something, a thing you can ignore. There is a din and basala, drums, etc. So many things will be there. So many people are walking by. You couldn't miss it, but he didn't observe it. He didn't note it. His senses are totally closed to the inputs, that they are totally obliterated, as if they were non-existent. So, we can be so predisposed that people have a different kind of reaction when many times they lose their senses when they see something gory, horrible, or which they didn't want to see, hear, something like that. So it can affect to that level. But this person, due to his state, as he sees now everything in Brahman, now there is no personal interest is at stake in this world, or in its happening, or in its dualities. That his idea of that small self, what we call as ego, that me so and so, me with this so and so qualities, this is my perimeter, this is defined by me, this is me and this is me not. Now it is broken. So everything becomes immaterial. And now these things, these dualities of the world, that does not have any sway on that person. And this person then remain perfectly unperturbed. So, asaktatma, bahya sparsheshu asaktatma. Whatever his indriyas are bringing in the inputs of knowledge, of sight, or sound, or touch, or smell, he is totally uninterested in it. Just notes it. It is the knowledge. He is the person that under that heavy spell of that experience, that all his faculties are flooded with the light of that consciousness. This will come in the 17th chapter, when Bhagavan is talking about the Sattva Guna. what happens when sattva rises? He talks exactly, you use this word, light, that is flooding all your channels of the senses, or of the channels of the faculties of knowing. So, faculties of knowing, that means not only senses, but your mind, your buddhi, etc. They are flooded with this light. A wonderful idea, isn't it? So, that person, because no action can happen in the state of that unity. But when that person, if so, comes down, Sri Ramakrishna says that ordinary people does not come from that highest experience. The people who generally we may see, we may meet, they are either of the two kinds. Either they are the Ishwar Avatar or the Ishwar Kotis, if we happen to see them, and has come down actually from the highest experience, or the person who have gone very close to that unity, almost had the experience of it, but has come down because his prarabdha is still there, which he has to consume, he has to go pass through. Both are great people, both are the great person, there is no doubt. But behavior, action, or any work will be only possible for the people who are, if they are extraordinary, like Ishwar Avatar and Ishwar Kotis, they come down and complete with that mission, with that idea. They come into the world and do something. Or the people, similarly, that who have gone very close to it, and they come down as if to finish their work. There is only possibility of these two people, with whom these verses may be said that these are the living examples of it. So, Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. So, this person, so he is indifferent to the sensory inputs. Bahya Sparsheshu Asaktatma. And why not so? The second line is equally important. I have only spoken, we have only seen the half of the first line. In a verse or shloka, they call it as charan. This is in Anushtup Chanda. So they have 4 charan, that is 4 quadrant, you can say. So Bahya Sparsheshu Asaktatma, this is the first one, first quarter. And in what is said in the second one? Vindati Atmani Yat Sukham. Yat, that person who Vindati here, actually it means knows. Here, that knowing is experiencing, knowing is being. That Yat Sukham, that the person who knows all the pleasure, all the happiness, all the joy. Knows means he derives. He derives all pleasure. Where? From within Atmani. So, Bahya Sparsheshu Asaktatma, not only that he is indifferent. Many people may be very cold to the outside world, as if they are indifferent. That is not the thing. That is not the only thing. Second thing is equally important, that he is happy. From his face, from his eyes, you see that he is seething with that joy, that every pore of his person is that inebriated with joy, filled with joy, that he is as if, means he will burst, that person will burst. He is so happy. That's why he is indifferent. That's why he's indifferent to the world. Because he does not derive you any pleasure from the world, and this is tasteless, insipid. Because he derives that such higher quality of pleasure, higher quality of joy, higher quality of unadulterated, pure, not conditioned by Nam, Roop and Guna, not dependent upon the Desha or Kala or Nimitta. Unconditioned pleasure, pure pleasure. Any person's experience of happiness, deriving joy, may be dependent upon several factors, not only from the outside, but from the he himself. Whether eating some good food, whether it is good, it is the properly ingredients are proper, pure, or of the standard qualities, the cook is proper, is coming from the good and overall experience, etc., etc. But everything, though suppose there is a one sweet, very exquisitely made, if this person have diabetes, very high sugar, what will the result? Result will be misery. He will not be able to eat it. Even if it tastes little, it will give him joy. But at the same time, a wave of disappointment will come that he is not able to eat it. If he eats it, there is a tremendous guilt. He will be trapped in it. That why he have eaten that sweet. Such a tragico comedy. Here is not that case. Unconditioned by Desha Kala Nimitta, free of Nama Rupa Guna, the pure consciousness, pure Ananda, pure Chit, pure Ananda. So, Bhaya Sparsheshu Asaktatma Vindati Atmani Yat Sukham. Because he is so much happy, he is drenched with happiness, why it will matter for him? The world matters for him because we are dependent upon it. We are dependent upon it. That's why things matter for us. Suppose I does not give a nice lecture, people will not probably give me this night's dinner or something like that, maybe. So, every action of ours, they are ultimately calibrated, they are tuned, they are weighed in to the ultimate, whether it increases your chances of survival, your existence, ultimately comes down to it. Can it prolong it? Can it secure it? Can it ensure the long-term comfortable existence of it? Yoga and Kshema. Whether it will contribute towards removing of any other threats, challenges, competitions, whether it can give you security. In various ways. Ultimately what? That he is seeking that immortality. Every person, every endeavor of ours. Why knowledge is important? Knowledge is important because it enables that. Sat, Chit and Ananda. These are the three principal cardinal core of our all motivations. Sat, Chit and Ananda. We seek that in world because we do not know how to seek it in itself, within ourselves. This is what this complex of Maya is. So, but with this person that is resolved. That's why he is asaktatma, he is indifferent to the bahya sparsheshu and vindati atmani yat sukham. It reminds us that one verse in the 3rd chapter we saw. What is that verse number? 17th verse. 17th verse says, Yastu atmaratireva syat atmatruptascha manavah atmanyeva cha santushtah tasya karyam na vidyate. The person who has attained that highest state, for him there is no obligation of any duty. That person alone is free. And what are his characteristics? That person is characterized by that his rati or that ruchi that he likes to indulge into. Where? That is Atman. Yah tu Atma ratireva syat. In within himself is ratireva. And Atma trupta, there only he finds the contentment. Atma trupta. And Atma santushta, there only he is satisfied, pacified. That person is not obliged. But what rules this world set for individuals? He is not obliged to follow it. He alone is free, who has attained that state. His ruchi, rati, is there within Atman. His contentment is within Atman. Trupti, that he get satisfaction there. And santushta, that contentment he gets in the Atman alone. Contentment is the larger concept. Trupti is what we see, a smaller concept. Trupti, you have nice lunch, dinner, you are trupta, you are happy. Contentment is with about when you say, are you contented with with your life situation, with what kind of job you are having, what kind of colleagues you are having, what kind of mode of transportation, where do you live, how is your neighborhood, a larger concept. So, his rati, trupti and santushti, when it is found in Atman alone, here is the similar idea is echoed here. Vindati atmani yat sukham. And sa brahma yoga yuktatma. That this brahma yoga, this yoga of unification with the Brahman, that's why this yoga is now called as Brahma yoga. Yuktatma. So he is one with that Brahman. This yogi, this perfected Jivan Mukta soul, Mahapurush, and Sukham Akshayam Ashnute. Akshayam, which is non-decaying, Sukham, that happiness, that pleasure, that joy. Ashnute, he consumes. Ashnute, it actually means eating. Ashnute. That he is enjoying that undecaying, that infinite Aksham, infinite happiness, that pleasure, that joy. So, this is the state of that person. What insight we get here in this verse is that as this is true, this is the state of the perfected being, but this is also true who are on the path of the perfection, who are seeking the spiritual perfection onto the spiritual path, who want to progress, who have taken initiation, who are spiritual aspirant, who aspire to move in this direction. Now this is something that they can have with them, this knowledge. Many times we ask this to ourselves or to ask to others, that whether I am progressing spiritually, or you ask ourselves that where is my progress? So, or what is the way forward? Now we find the inkling, we find the insight in these words. Bahya sparsheshu asaktatma vindati atmani yat sukham. These two words. It shows that it is very clear then. If we connect this way, if we see it this way, what is inferred? What is the reflection? It means that as our ability and a general state of our mind slowly bring in this indifference towards the dualities of nature, of the world, of the life which is happening around us, in which we are passing through which we are passing. More or less we can remain steady and unaffected. Bahya sparsheshu asaptatma. But that will not be sufficient. With our world, as with the age we are growing and we are seeing so many things, we are anyway fed up. If you see some 4 or 5 news channel, you will all the more become fed up. Negativity everywhere around. But you are supposed to be indifferent. No udvijet. This is asaktatma. This is qualified by both things. No udvijet is also important. Not only no pravrushit. So you are indifferent. This indifference. But this indifference is not only sufficient. Then it has to be also qualified by vindati atmani yat sukham. That are you happy? And do you find that happiness within you? Have you found that connect? This is the question to be asked. If you found out the way to find the happiness, to consume that happiness, to find that pleasure, unqualified by desha kala nimitta or nama rupa and guna, then you have got it. And it's simply, it only means, it is only possible then when you are in your deep state of japa or dhyana. It simply means that. Then if in your 45 minutes or 1 hour of sitting of japa and dhyana, if there goes even few minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes or 4 minutes or few sparks of such moments, that your mind is so concentrated that it is no more contemplating any other thing. Vindati atmani yat sukham. So, sukham, which is not the product of the interaction. There are no intermediaries. So, when your mind will become still, every faculty is not no faculty is rushing and they are still at their own seat. What will happen? Then what is there that will get a chance to reflect, shine through this stillness. Vindati atmani yat sukham. Now, that is the source of strength. That is the source of power. That is the source of conviction. That is the proof that this is the direction you should move. That here lies the source of the reservoir of infinity. In this direction you will find it. Vindati atmani yat sukham. That's unconditional pleasure, unconditional joy. Though it will be till then, as long as you any experience without that aparoksha anubhuti, what is being called, until that is achieved, every experience will be experienced through mind. Yes, it's all right. But the content of pleasure, content of happiness is always that. All your experiences, the content of experience is always that. That is same Brahman which is reflecting through your faculties, through your mind. As much as it is focused, concentrated, so much the intensity of it is experienced, whether it is pain or pleasure. But if you develop this ability that to have that kind of intensity, and that's why that kind of that intense pure pleasure at your will, then slowly you are becoming independent. Otherwise, to become happy, you need a reason upon which you do not have any control. And here, sitting on your asana, when you can draw even a few drops by drops, then slowly you will establish a contact, a firmer contact, and that road will be strengthened. Your approach will be strengthened. It will become more smoother. It will become, that channel will become more robust. And the flow will happen slowly, freely. Gradually, it will become freer. And when that source become uninterrupted, ceaseless, continuous, then it is done. So, Bahya Sparsheshu Asaktatma and Vindati Atmani Yat Sukham. Whether we are growing spiritually, these two things to be asked. How much the world can affect us, and how much I can draw that unconditional pleasure from within me. That also means it is not only a test question, it also means the strategy of the progress, the path to the progress, where our effort should be concentrated upon. How we should approach our spiritual life, how we should, what everything we are doing should be judged, or should be looked from a window, a lens. It gives us a lens, whether it is contributing in that direction or not. Then our spiritual efforts, then we can tune them, we can make changes, amendments, if we are not doing it. Something I sit for jap, dhyan, puja, somebody disturbs and I become excessively angry over it. What is happening? Whether it is worthwhile? The question should come. So, where am I wrong? So, question should be asked. It has to be analyzed and has to be corrected. Etc. So, Bahya Sparsheshu Asaktatma Vindati Atmani Yat Sukham Sabrahma Yoga Yuktatma Sukham Akshayam Ashmute. So may Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, they bless us all, show us the path, enlighten our heart, strengthen our will, and focus our mind, so that we may reach up to Him by His own grace, by His own kindness, and come nearer, closer to Him. That is the prayer, and with this prayer, we will end today's talk. And for your information, again on next Sunday there is Ekadashi, because there will be Ramanam Sankirtan, so there will be no class, there will be no talk. It will continue from the following Sundays. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.